Krizo, Behrooz Tabani, William Bonac battling it out for first place. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. The Empro Classic in Alicante, Spain. Prejudging is let out. Three-man show. As predicted, Krizo, Behrooz Tabani, William Bonac battling it out for first place with Sas Harati in a close top four contention. This, as we predicted, this was going to be a really tough lineup in Spain. They're obviously vying for not only first place, but an invitation to the Mr. Olympia competition for the winner, automatic qualification. Krizo, obviously the biggest man on stage. Conditioning we knew was going to be superb. Once again, as I predicted, his coloring is never quite as dark as it really needs to be because he's very pale. He really needs to work on getting a tan before he gets spray tan. But Krizo brought the size, the freak factor. The guy's got enormous arms and calves. Great back double bicep pose. His torso's a little long, so he's a little long from the upper body compared to the legs. But I think he did everything he had to do. He made improvements. His legs definitely came up from last year in size, and he's got to be considered a serious threat to win this thing. I was very impressed with William Bonac. I know a lot of people were taking shots. Maybe his arms were a little down in size. I didn't think they were at all. I thought maybe a half an inch. But the shape of his arms is so good that it doesn't even matter really. His glutes and hamstrings were incredible. His back was really good. Is his waist a little thicker than it was when he was at the peak of his powers? Yes, but that's what happens when you get older. Okay, the obliques sticking out a little bit from just years and years of training. But I don't think it's detracting much from his physique. I really like what he brought to the stage. I think he's got a lot of polish on him. I think his conditioning is right where it needs to be. Obviously he's the smaller of the top three guys, but he always is. That's been when he's had to deal with his whole career, but he's always beat bigger guys. I wouldn't have a problem with Bonac winning this show, but Behrooz Tabani, I think, is really what the person who impressed me the most. He kind of was off to the side at first, and then they kind of put him into the middle for a little while. This guy is very well balanced. I mean, he doesn't have any weaknesses. Krizo is bigger than him, but Behrooz has no, from upper and lower, he's super balanced. His conditioning is crazy. The glutes were off the charts. He has really good abs. I like him overall, I think, better than the other two guys, only because he's so balanced. To me, Bonac's got the freak factor because he's so dense and round and stuff like that. And Krizo obviously is like a creature from another planet. If I was a judge in this line, would have a very difficult time scoring this top three because everyone's in really good shape. All three of those guys are tremendous. They all have their own gifts and their own detractions in their own areas. So it's a matter of who has the most benefits with the least, negatives. And I think that's going to determine who wins the show. To be honest with you, I don't think the judges know who's going to win at this point. If anything, I might be tipping my hat towards Behrooz, after prejudging, maybe a little bit, maybe by a point. But I think tonight, the finals is going to really dictate who's going to take home the victory here because it's that close. And like I said, I wouldn't want to have to judge this lineup. But, sometimes when the finals come around, people come back better and other guys come back worse. And that will determine who wins this show. So I don't think Bonac could do anything to improve what he had on stage. I think that Krizo can fill out a little bit more. Probably a burger and fries would do him well. And I think Behrooz is right where he needs to be too. I don't think he can be any drier, maybe a little fuller. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. We will wrap the finals up on Heavy Muscle Radio when Chris and I go live later tonight. For now, though, I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.